You ever get that look from a woman, the one where her body is still but her eyes are burning, where she's quiet, too quiet, and you can tell something deeper, darker is stirring behind that perfectly arched brow? That's not just attraction. That's not even desire. That is a fantasy waiting to be triggered. Now here's the catch. Most men never go there. They play it safe. They stay polite. They ask for permission and wonder why she's never fully present in the bedroom or in love. She'll be yours in ways even she won't be able to explain. Oh, and before we continue, I've got something special for you. A free ebook, the Female Mind Control Handbook. It reveals the hidden secrets to making any woman crave you. Grab it now, link in the description or pinned comment. Let's start. 1. The Take Control Trigger. Why she secretly craves to be owned by a man who never asks. Here's what no woman will say out loud. I want a man who doesn't ask if I'm ready. I want a man who knows. That's not disrespect. That's confidence. That's emotional dominance, the kind she pretends to hate but aches for in silence. You ever notice how women devour books like 50 Shades of Grey? Why the bad boy trope never dies? Why the quiet, brooding man always wins her attention, even if he says little? It's because he represents something she craves but can't control. Not abuse, not arrogance, but authority, presence, command. She wants to feel overpowered by a man who is completely in control of himself. That's the paradox. The fantasy isn't about being pushed around. It's about surrendering without fear. And a high-value man understands that surrender is only possible when she trusts your leadership. So how do you activate this dark fantasy? You do it by being the man who never needs to raise his voice to get her attention. You walk in the room, and she feels you before you say a word. You look at her, just one look, and her breath catches. You reach for her hand, not to ask, but to lead. That's the trigger. It's certainty. 2. The Forbidden Protector Fantasy. She craves to be rescued, but never says it. She'll tell the world she doesn't need saving. She's independent, fierce, in control. She's built her walls, she's proud of them, but deep inside, she wants to be caught. Not by someone soft, not by someone who'll fall apart when she breaks down, but by a man who sees through her armor and calmly says, "I've got you." This isn't about playing the hero. It's about becoming her sanctuary, the one place she can stop pretending. Because here's her secret. She may run the world by day, but when she's with you, she wants to collapse into your strength and feel safe being fragile. Triggering this fantasy isn't about dramatic gestures. It's about subtle moments that whisper, "You don't have to do everything alone anymore." Hold her gaze when she's spiraling. Guide her into silence when her head won't stop spinning. Stand there, unshaken when she pushes, because she wants to know you won't leave. The more stoic you become, the more her emotional storms begin to orbit you, not destroy you. And once she feels that, she'll start showing you every part she hides from the world. 3. The Masquerade Fantasy. She wants you to see the version of her no one else can. You know that part of her that smiles in public, that knows how to flirt, play, perform? Yeah, that's her mask. And every woman wears one. But what she really wants, what she secretly fantasizes about, is the man who can see behind it. The one who catches the crack in her voice and doesn't call her out. He simply understands. You don't expose her, you witness her. And that's intimacy most men can't touch. Triggering this fantasy is about attunement. You watch her carefully, her tone, her silence, her body language. You respond, not react. And in that presence, she starts to feel naked, but safe. She may say, "I'm fine." But when you lean in, hold her face and say, "You don't have to be," she'll melt, because now she's not alone behind the mask anymore. You've entered the private world inside her mind, the one she didn't even know she was aching to share. And when you make her feel known like that, she doesn't just want your touch, she needs it. 4. The controlled chaos fantasy. She wants to feel out of control, in your hands. This one's primal. It's the one she never admits. Not to friends, not even in her journals. But it's the most explosive, intoxicating, and dangerous fantasy of them all. Losing control, in your hands. She wants to surrender to something bigger than her moods, bigger than her fear, bigger than her constant overthinking. You. This isn't about force. It's about being so grounded that she feels like she can finally let go and fall apart without falling alone. And you don't lose your center. You hold her through it. You guide, you breathe, you lead. Triggering this fantasy is about presence. You don't ask what she wants. You feel it before she says it. You slow her down when she spirals. You press pause when she rushes. You hold her tighter when she pushes. And in that dance, she begins to unravel. She's not afraid of the dark with you. She wants to explore it, because you are her anchor. When a woman finds a man who can handle her fire, she'll set his world on fire just to stay warm beside him. 5. The silent obsession fantasy. When you become the thought she can't escape. The last fantasy? It doesn't require a single word. It's not about seduction or dominance or safety. It's about lingering. You trigger this fantasy when you stop chasing and start moving through life with unbothered confidence. You show her that her rejection didn't shatter you, that you aren't watching her stories, you're not reacting to her bait, you're building, growing, glowing. And suddenly, she can't stop thinking about you. It's the mystery, the restraint, the way your presence lingers in rooms you've already left. She starts to crave your energy again, but this time, she's not sure if she can have it. That's what makes it fantasy, because the most haunting man is not the loudest. It's the one who once touched her soul and then vanished without needing applause. You become her obsession, and she'll never admit it, but she'll replay the way you breathed, the way you stared, the way you knew her, over and over and over. Now you know, not the fantasy she posts on Instagram, not the sweet little checklist she tells her friends she's looking for. Number. You've seen the real one, the fantasy she tries to suppress. And if you're still here, you're not average. You're not safe. You're a man of presence, a man who can hold fire without flinching. So I'll leave you with this. She doesn't want a man who asks for permission. She wants a man who awakens her, mind, body, and soul. If that's you, don't play small. Become the one fantasy she'll never confess, but never forget. If this awakened something in you, if you're done playing soft in a world that responds to strength, subscribe. This channel isn't for weak men. It's for the few who lead with clarity, command, and masculine depth. Comment the word obsession if you've seen the look in her eyes when she almost gave in. If you've ever felt that pull, if you're ready to become the man women dream about in silence, type it, own it, trigger it.